Do you think the 24-hour economy plus holds the key to some of the, I mean, does it proffer solutions to some of the incentives?
The 24-hour economy is dead at birth. Died when
dead at birth?
When the policy was launched. I'm a marketer by profession. I'm a trained marketer. Now, you can't advertise. That's the first point. It is not the most important part. But that even creates an impression that the policy is dead at birth. Do you know why?
Tell us.
Because you can't advertise a different product and sell it. You can't sell a different product. You can't advertise a different content of a product and give out something different.
I hear what you're saying. Let me just come in at this point.
Yes.
They have said, and they promised to do that, they are going to incentivize private sector.
No,
you are just talking about incentivizing
No, I'm not even
industry.
getting there. I'm talking about a situation where the normal 24-hour economy that was advertised by President Mahama was that, and you can all bear me out. Tell me if I'm wrong. The 24-hour policy that we're all expecting was a 24-hour economy that was going to create jobs immediately. Is that not the case? Was going to give, 3 shifts or something immediately. Is that not the case? That was what was advertised.
Was that the sense you got from
it?
No,
that was what was advertised. You also got it like that.
But I also read what they said in the document.
No, I'm not talking about the document.
It goes beyond. I mean, as we speak, we are under this administration, right? The NDC is government.
Yes.
And so 24-hour economy is no longer a policy we can talk about in oblivion. It is what is happening right now.
There's a point
I'm digging in to see that are there any other proper solutions that you are saying that is the key to our quest for industrialization?
I'll come to that. But the point I'm going to make to you is that you cannot advertise something, because a lot of people were asking me in my constituency, so when are we going to start the shift system? When are we going to get jobs? That is what you advertise. So you couldn't have given us anything different from what you advertise. That is by the way.
Okay.
But the point that I told them, I even wrote it to the 24-hour secretariat, that the 24-hour policy can only thrive through the industrial sector or industry. It can only stand on industry because you have to incentivize. And it's not clear. That is why the policy has a problem.
But that's what the policy says they're doing.
Because the policy, the document that came out, doesn't have any incentive. They talked to us after we spoke to them. Then they said that, okay, now this is what they want to do. Now they have 24-hour, they have make 24-hour, shoot 24-hour, connect 24-hour.
Yeah.
So that is where they're not breaking up. But the policy they presented to us, there was no incentive written in the policy.
So indeed, they make 24, all the other breakdowns,
so when
they
policy
actually contain something that you are just saying. That's the point I want to establish. In order for us to stop playing catch-up on this in industrial revolution, you are saying one major thing is incentivizing local industry.
Yes.
And I'm asking if now that they have launched this policy document of development framework, it holds a key to our quest to revolutionize our industries.
That's supposed to be the case.
But it's not,
and
like
that's
you're
what
saying.
I'm telling you.
That it's not.
It's not, because the 24-hour economy should have spelled out some good incentives for, especially the private sector. You are talking about a policy and you only made mention of the fact that you need $4 billion US to run the policy. 4 billion. There are no details given. You also said that $3.7 billion will be needed from the private sector, will come from as what? Is it coming in as a loan or what? As equity or as through like a PPP arrangement? We don't know. These details are not given. Specific incentives are not given or stated, targeted at areas that can easily, because you're talking about industrial park, that's a very phenomenal idea. Great. Developing the water lake, the
water basin.
Water basin, which is extremely phenomenal. I will support it. But what's the package? We wanted them also to mention something about the Greater Kumasi Industrial Park, the biggest industrial park in the whole of the sub-region that is being developed in Kumasi. What incentives are available for those who want to even set up in the industry, the industrial park? What are see, these are things that we're expecting the government to come to us with. They should be able to speak to issues well for us to know that The 24-hour economy is bringing hope. But now, it is going to be as if they're going on a fishing expedition.
Your job as opposition is not only to scrutinize government action, but also proffer or suggest what you think is feasible solutions in terms of our quest for development. Be that as it's meant that you're saying that the policy document was dead on arrival, what do you say they should do? I've listened to some people who told us that they should give the entire document to National Development Planning Commission so that they can incorporate it on a more long-term permanent development program rather than treat it as this administration's flagship program. What do you say? How do we ensure that we are making the most out of it?
But the point is that, see, what they are even, if you look at the policy, the page 53, 54, talking about even giving some incentives arrangements, existing arrangement to other state agencies, like taking, as if they want to align free zones and JIPC.
Yeah, we'll talk about free zones in a bit. But
I mean, on the 24-hour economy policy. So I'm just talking about a situation where this is a long-term arrangement. So government must show so much commitment.
how?
And the commitment must come through legislation. Because we had a situation where the previous government brought, the policy of 1D, 1F. And we had issues. There were issues around it. So some of the issues will still come up. I mean, there's no aspect of it that will clearly show that the government is showing a commitment for it to be legislated so that it will make it permanent and it will make it...
This is because they haven't presented a bill.
Yeah, the bill, they said the bill is being prepared. They said it isn't ready. I followed up last 3 days. But I'm just trying to tell you that the policy document that came out, that is the basic document we have. I have read through the documents back to back, and I know what I'm talking about.
Mr. Baafi, when you look at Fund 24, it says will unlock $1 billion plus in enterprise financing for MSMEs in strategic value chains through a value chain financing facility delivered by DBG, Development Bank Ghana, through raw banks, microfinance institutions, savings and loans institutions, and commercial banks. Loans will be concessional, below 12%, and tied to membership in cooperatives or trade and industrial associations to enhance credit discipline, monitoring, and access. De-risk MSME lending through a technical assistance grant fund and credit insurance scheme. Support infrastructure financing through the creation of 3 special purpose vehicles under the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. Focus on archaeological parks. Aren't these, similar to the incentives that we're talking about?
These are similar to the issues that we had.
Which issue?
The issues that the 1D, 1F had. 1D, 1F, through the 1D, 1F arrangement, government was to subsidize the interest rate on government had an arrangement with participating financial institutions called the PFIs. And so these PFIs were supposed to give loans to 1D, 1 company, either greenfield or brownfield businesses. And government was supposed to subsidize part or half. And it became difficult for government as time went on. And the same thing is going to happen. So this is something that we see as a problem. And what is more, just look at the policy well. We're talking about fishing expedition exercise, trying to now go through DBG to look for finances for. It is not that easy. Think about finances from banks. It's not that clear. These companies that are coming up must show that because they are now the 24-hour economy secretariat is only facilitating. They cannot force any bank to grant loans to people. So those people can only take loans on their balance sheets. That's all. Or the equities that they present, collaterals. And so if they're not able to show commitment that and that the strength that they will be able to pay the loans, they will not be given. The point I'm trying to make is that government should have learned a lot from the difficulties we had through the 1D, 1F arrangement, so that those things could have been rectified, solved through the coming into force of this policy. Okay. But it seems to me that they are bringing the same issues now. It is not something that can easily take off tomorrow. But between me and you, Joy FM, very credible, Joy News, very credible network, everybody knows in this country. Tell me, two of you, please. I'm giving you indulgence. Tell me that is this what Ghanaians are looking for, or Ghanaians were expecting? What 24-hour economy? Be very sincere. We were told that people were going to sell watching in the evening. Passport office, we were going to. That's what they told us.
But you being an industrialist understands that you cannot just.
So why do you have to say those things?
But of course, when you say you will do it, but when you say you will do, you take the person to say Mokola, and you are in Kokomlemle. You need to start your vehicle.
So
isn't this starting the
24-hour economy? They are now even bringing the bill. They say the bill is ready. I mean, so this 24-hour economy is. See, there's no money even available. I'm sure that the midterm budget review may cater for some part, but you see, at this stage, government doesn't have that financial muscles to be able to devote $1 billion for this particular project to start.
How can we work around it?
If you decide to tell lies, that's your own problem. And it comes to
let's look for the solution.
We are all praying. Seriously, we are all praying that government to be able to take off. A lot of my constituents and Ghanaians will benefit from the policy. As a matter of fact, when they said they were going to launch the 24-hour economy, I have trucks, vans. So I went round in Kufudia that the policy will be launched the following week. So people should be ready. Yeah, we are going to get them jobs. And so I was expecting that when the policy was launched, I was going to carry my people in buses.
Yeah, Mr.
No, that's like how you said it, Mr. Baafi.
So that's the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Yeah. And so
I'm asking.
But this particular one.
Yes.
Clearly be very sincere with yourself. This one clearly shows that government's commitment is low on this policy.
Looks like they're discussing.
But could they, when they said same about 1D, 1F, you objected to it. Why are you sounding the same tone? That it can be done?
No, I'm not saying it can be done.
You said you are not committed.
I said the commitment. Because, if you read the policy, for me, because it's my sector, I've read the policy. As well as I even printed some for your people. To your colleagues here. I gave them some this morning. That I've read the thing back to back. And it's like you can't see any hope in the short term. The hope is in the long term, which is good because for Ghana, building a new Ghana. That is what I want.
Brick by brick.
But then the impression given is creating problems with politicians. That's what I'm saying. I'm not by this accusing anybody, but I'm just saying that
give them a proposal as to how they can make this work for you.
They should come out with the legislation. They're very good. They said they are bringing a bill. We want to see the details. And then there are areas but immediately they have to also bring out incentive measures, very good ones that can easily stimulate demand, because all the private sector players are looking. They can only expand when they have the demand to produce.
Okay, all right.
So if you have cars, if you are manufacturing cars and people are not going to buy, you will not produce. If you want to produce more, it means that then you will get more. You will get people to come and work. So government will be able to stimulate demand by giving out incentives that are very mouth-watering and strategic, so that the industrial sector can help.
What we are talking about...
Look at the agri sector. What you do to us in the agri sector, when we are bringing machinery, we have to be combing all over and we are denied. It's not good. That one, you, the MPs, and those in the executive should work on making sure that when agri companies are importing machinery, because agri companies are employing so much, then when we have to get these tax waivers so that we can import our equipment, it becomes a problem. Then you have to,
It's a problem.
Yeah, so you need to work on it.
That's what I said. It's a problem.
Okay.
For me, I believe in incentives because I've visited a lot of free zones.
You said that. So I'm just saying that make sure that works for the agri companies.
Okay.
We'll be grateful.
Okay.
Let's take...